On to this now. eNCA brings you the first of many election town hall debates this morning. We kick off in Mitchell's Plain, giving the Western Cape voters the opportunity to ask questions and interact with political party leaders directly. Well, eNCA's Michelle Craig, who is from Mitchell's Plain, is moderating that debate, and she joins us live now. Mish, good morning to you. I don't want to say I miss you in studio here. I understand you're doing important work out in the Western Cape. How does it feel to be in your hometown? It's a battleground, that particular province.
Pauline Gambi, let me tell you something. I'm going to step out of shot actually immediately. It's a vibe here outside the Rockland Civic Centre in Mitchell's Plain. Look at that. People have been streaming into the venue. For now, what we are seeing is at least some of the blue wave making their way to the steps of the Rockland Civic Centre. Already on the steps of the Civic Centre is an orange wave which emerged, as we know, in early December of 2018, Patricia de Lille's Good Party. And by comparison, the ANC, sort of a little bit to the left of your screens there, having set up its flag and a little desk there as it begins with its electioneering. And altogether poor showing from the ANC, given the blue and orange numbers we are seeing streaming into the Rockland Civic Centre. But we're incredibly grateful and excited that people have really come out in their numbers for the first part of eNCA's election town halls, which of course, as you know, Pauline Gambi, we will be hosting around the country. We kick it off in Mitchell's Plain as one of the strategic areas in the Western Cape. In fact, we've got around 300,000 people as the population of Mitchell's Plain. The registered voters in the Western Cape numbering 3 million. So when we talk about the blue wave, we're talking about areas like the Western areas like Mitchell's Plain that have won the DA, that 59% in the 2014 elections, in those national elections, the numbers that we saw the DA gaining there. Its own research tells us, the DA's own research, which it always uses to espouse the glowing attributes of the party, that very same research now tells us that as we count down 56 days to go to the May 8th elections 2019, these are being touted as a watershed moment in South Africa's history, much like 1994 was, and the DA's numbers putting them possibly at below 50% for the Western Cape. So the question will be, of course, where will those voters go, Pauline Gambi? Will they be picked up by the ANC, which really has not been able to claw back any ground in the Western Cape since it lost the province in 2009? The EFF will also be at this election debate today. Back in 2014, the party won a mere 2.1%, which wasn't a poor showing given the age of the EFF at the time. The Freedom Front Plus, who will also be a part of this election debate today, a measly 0.5% in those 2014 polls. And of course, Patricia de Lille's Good Party, the former mayor, will also be on stage alongside the DA, her former political home. The Good Party, of course, we don't have numbers for. They were launched in December of just last year. It's going to be an incredible discussion. We've got civil society organizations that will be coming out in their numbers. Hopefully we will also just be getting ordinary residents of Mitchell's Plain to give them the opportunity, and I think this will be the most important part of our election town hall series here on eNCA, is to give ordinary South Africans the chance to challenge and to push politicians on, particularly the people of Mitchell's Plain have said, on these, quote, empty promises that they are so tired of hearing every election. That's the only time they see politicians paying attention to their grievances, they say, and they are tired of it. Before we let you go, Pauline Gambi, I want to ask our cameraman Mario to just pan to that, to zoom to that statue there in the middle of this little courtyard here outside the Rockland Civic Centre. That statue in honor of the UDF, which makes this venue so fitting for such an important election debate today, Pauline Gambi. The UDF, that anti-apartheid organization that was so prolific in the 80s, in 1983 when it launched, 15,000 people defied threats by the apartheid government. They gathered here to launch the UDF. In fact, Reverend Frank Chikane being the first person to speak at that launch, he was shot at that launch. As we know, he survived. But here we are again, some 36 years later, another watershed moment in the history of South Africa as we continue this discussion, counting down 56 days to elections 2019. Political parties will have their say. Their time will be carefully moderated. We want to open up the floor to ordinary South Africans.
Good luck in managing that, Michelle Craig. Politicians can speak a lot. So I don't wish to have your job, at least for now. Thank you very much. That's my colleague, Michelle Craig.